Hey folks, Dr. Lund here. I wanted to take another look at Darrell Brooks, who is back in court for the scheduling of his sentencing hearing after a jury found him guilty of 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide and 70 other criminal charges for driving his SUV through a Waukesha, Wisconsin Christmas parade last November. What I want to look at is to see what his behaviors are like, what his mood, what his strategies are like, from what we observed in the trial that lasted for a number of weeks, and where a jury found him guilty only about 6 days ago. So let's take a listen and see what he's a little like this time.
All of the charging instruments in this matter and make my exemption available for discharge of all obligations and charges connected with this case. I do not dispute any of the facts in the charging instruments and state for the record that I do not identify by the name stated.
The record should reflect that the individual known to this court as Darrell Brooks is present in custody in person. He is appearing in jail attire today. The court is here to address a couple of things. Of course, the scheduling of sentencing. I also want to address a letter that was sent to the parties late last week on the 28th regarding the unsealing of search warrants be under seal. So
Why would
that the record is very clear on the restraint system that was utilized during this trial.
I have a question to that.
Okay.
Why is that remaining sealed but everything else being open to the public?
I've indicated my reasons are on the record. I'm not going to restate them. So
well, I think that the public, if they're allowed to see search warrant information and things like that, then I think that they should know that it was a shock device on my ankles.
There was no shock device.
It was a shock device. I was told it was a shock device.
Mr. Brooks.
And
that's
it was
why
covered
I'm
up.
the record.
It was covered up by a black cloth, so the jury purposely could not see it, and so that the public cannot see it. I was told that a chair had to be placed on my side so that no one can see that I was shackled with ankle shocks. I think the public should know that. The jury should have known that. That's what they were.
Mr. Brooks, I've made my ruling. Your characterization
I respect your
of
ruling,
those
but it
as,
should be noted.
Your
it should
objection
be
is
noted.
noted for the record.
It should be noted that I had a shock device on my ankles. That's fact.
It's
a
not
fact.
Sir.
Well, as you could see, the debate goes on, and again, the judge had to put him in the other courtroom because of his constant interrupting. The one thing I did notice that was different was really with the judge, not with Brooks. She seemed to put firmer limits on his behavior, didn't tolerate as much. When she said she was going to put him in the other courtroom, she didn't give him tons of chances. And again, understandably, she may have had to do that for the record to show that she was giving him every opportunity. However, today she was different. But truth be told, here it is, folks. I didn't see any difference in behaviors. He was still as grandiose as he was during the trial, still as argumentative, very much entitled and acted entitled. Seemed that being incarcerated was an inconvenience for him, so that he couldn't get files or read whatever he needed to do because he was on suicide watch, which is the appropriate procedure after that kind of a verdict. The drama continued. That did not stop. He was argumentative when he was talking about scheduling his sentencing hearing. You would think he was just trying to juggle his schedule to make a dental appointment. However, the fact of the matter is that he has 2 other cases and charges in another jurisdiction in Wisconsin, but there's no shame. There is no shame about these other court proceedings. It's just another day in his life. And again, what I think is so telling is there was no empathy shown for family members of his victims. Now, he says he's got 20 folks that may show up for making statements on his behalf for sentencing. I kind of doubt it. He hadn't had anybody really show up for him at this point in time, so I'm thinking not going to happen. Thanks, folks, for being here and listening. And that, to me, is the truth of Darrell Brooks.